Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see who was here first. Fancy, Fancy, thank you so much for being here first. And also, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Okay, Novi D, Tara Levitt, let's see, Helen G, Compton Cali Gal, Bunny Rose, Mary H, Marie Fabian, Gwendolyn Daniels, and a whole bunch of other people. Nolithando, Niandini, okay, Antoinette Kennedy. Lovely. Thank you all so much for being here. Um, Now, who turns down an MBE? Member, what is that? Member of the British Empire? Oh, what a catchy phrase there. Empire. Empire. Sounds like colonizer to me. Um, Hello, April May, Angela M64. Anyway, it is fall. There's some fall colors for you. I love when the leaves change. I really do. I will never forget that time I was riding the city bus and I was going down, oh, I think it was State Street. It was one of those places where they have like trees in the medium of the street as well as on the sidewalks area, the pavement area. Well, anyway, the sun was shining bright and the leaves were all yellow gold, and the light that was beaming through those leaves, so beautiful. It was like like I was in some kind of like ethereal tunnel like situation. It was just so beautiful. Um, Connie Balmer. See there, just as I said, it was just so beautiful. What happens? Connie Balmer is here. Hey, Connie Balmer, thank you so much for joining us. Okay. Anyway, let's get on with it. All right. Hello, Rebecca Arthur. Thank you for being here. Oh, you know what? Let me check and see where we are with the count. Has Royal Sussex crossed over to, what is it, 63,000? Let's see here. Nope, still 62.9. I think we're only like, what, six away? Nine. We only need 9 subscribers to get to 63,000. Okay, I better post some shorts later, huh? That'll push it over. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. All right, moving on. Let's see here. As ever official, the Duchess of Sussex posted another Instagram. As you can see there, crisp air, blue skies, and the sweetest moments. Wow, I have a little bit of a lisp. I wonder if I should put my teeth in. Let me try that again. Crisp air, blue skies. Oh yeah, I hear it. And the and the sweetest moment. Crisp air, blue skies, and the sweetest moment. Suffering succotash. Suffering succotash. Yeah, I can hear that. It's very Sylvester. Can you guys hear it? It's very Sylvester. Crisp air, blue skies. Oh, and of course, we just moment. Just a little bit of a lisp. Yeah, that is really bad. You know, one of these days, I'm going to get some teeth. You'll see. I'm going to have the most beautiful Hollywood smile you ever seen. You're going to have to put on sunglasses every time I smile. In the meantime, we'll just have to stick with every other tooth. Okay. Uh, so Colin Firth's ex-wife Livia dramatically, yeah, is it Livia? Livia. Yeah, okay. Colin Firth's ex-wife Livia dramatically hands back her MBE and tears up the prestigious certificate in fury over the occupant of the White House. Activist hits out at cowardly display of appeasing by King Charles during last week's presidential state visit. You guys, there's a lot of people who did not like that, and it makes me a bit suspicious about all of this coverage of Duchess of York. Makes me very suspicious. Yes, what she did was reprehensible and disgusting and rather selfish. But why now? I keep saying to myself, why now? Why such a big scandal? You know what I'm saying? If they just stop talking about it, but wouldn't that apply to most scandals? If the press stopped talking about it, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But they're fanning the flames. And I mean fanning the flames. Fanning the flames. And I'm like, well, did she, I get it. I get it. And the more I hear about it, the the more I'm inclined to say, okay, I'm not very fond of the Duchess of York at this time. But I think about something like this and it makes me wonder, is it all just a distraction? Are they trying to distract us so that we won't think about things like this? Because there were a lot of people that were unhappy about that display for the president of the United States. I don't care what trade deal was at stake. I don't care what type of special relationship, whatever the case may be, there were a lot of people that were extremely unhappy with that display of opulence, a bunch of butt kissing. And of course, when you look at the performance at the United Nations, again, people are having some really, um, shall we say, complex emotions bubbling up. So, yeah, it was it was disappointing. It really was disappointing. And Kate Middleton, right there in the thick of it. Right there in the thick of it. Helen G says, Baron, as much as I am disgusted like you by Fergie, she has been thrown under the bus and fed to the wolves to cover up royal stuff. Yes. Yes, it appears to be that way. It really does appear to be that way. Let's see. Oh, you think so? Ah, okay. You think that's where it came from, huh? Well, that is a good possibility. That really is a good possibility because they are treacherous. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of with you on that one for one big reason because Kate Middleton was right there front and center, when you could see past that candelabra and such. Um, anyway, that being said, oh, let me show you. There you go. Now let me make that bigger so I can see it. Okay, so Livia Firth. In 2019, I was given this MBE honor for my service in trying to make the fashion supply chain a more just and less deadly place to work for garment workers across the world. Although I stand against the British Empire and remnants of that toxic system I accepted the honor on behalf of many garment worker activists who had educated and supported me. I also had great respect for King Charles, who was then the Prince of Wales, and his decades battling on behalf of social and environmental justice. As I write this, I see that horrible excuse of a human called Trump in full flow at the United Nations General Assembly, his poisonous rhetoric amplified and legitimized. I have been reflecting on his visit in the UK last week, and I am afraid I can't reconcile the way he was appeased and honored and again legitimized. In fact, last week's display showed me nothing of those values I thought King Charles upheld, or his spirit, rather, a frightening and cowardly display of appeasing someone who stands for the obliteration of the natural world and the most vulnerable people on earth. Because I can't reconcile those two positions, I have shredded my honor and I am returning it to sender. I know it so many honorable, decent British people who will be unable to reconcile their deeply held values of fairness and justice with the grotesque pantomime we witnessed. I think it's only by taking a stand that we can make our feelings known. Yours sincerely, Livia. Is it Gu, Gugioli Firth? Hashtag let's go. Um, well, there's no ambiguities, is it? She means business, right? She doesn't want it. She does not want it. And if you take a look here, where is that at? You can see on the upper right, she's tearing up the document. She's tearing up the document, shredding it, tearing it up, returning it along with that trinket, that little dangly bit. Now, the honors is not something that goes back, hundreds of years. As a matter of fact, let me see. The OBE and MBE. Let me see. The honors. Order of the British Empire. Let me see when that was established. It was established back in 1917. 1917. So if you think that that's something that goes back a very long way in the history of Great Britain, it really does not. This was something that they came up with after the sinking of the Titanic, after the First World War. This was something that they came up with to honor people because with the Industrial Revolution, and of course, having peasants running around here, there, and everywhere with the right to vote, women fighting for their right to vote, they needed a way to make the royal family seem more relevant. And of course, let's not forget Tsar Nicholas II and his family being massacred. And yet you have this German family in Britain. So there's a lot of reasons why the honor system was created, right? The most excellent order of the British Empire is the British Order of Chivalry, rewarding valuable service in a wide range of useful activities. It comprised 5 classes of awards across both civil and military divisions, the most senior 2 of which make the recipient either a knight if male or a dame if female. There is also the related British Empire Medal, whose recipients are affiliated with the order but not a member of it. The order was established on June the 4th, 1917 by George V, who created the order to recognize such persons, male or female, as may have rendered or shall hereafter render important service to our empire. Equal recognition was to be given for services rendered in the UK and overseas. Today, the majority of recipients are UK citizens, though a number of Commonwealth realms outside of the United Kingdom continue to make appointments to the order. Well. So that is what she decided to give up. And I can't say that I blame her. All of this distraction about Fergie, so that there is no debate about the Orange Menace given this high honor at Windsor Castle. And so I'm going full circle. I said that I had kind of changed my feelings about Sarah yesterday. And yes, I do still feel that as well. But now I'm just like, oh, but they're using this as a distraction. So my feelings are all over the place. What can I say? This is just a hot mess. A real hot mess. You know what else is a hot mess? We don't have any moderators. We don't have any moderators. I'm looking. Do we have any moderators? It's time for the moderator. 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 Okay. Anyway, they'll be here soon. Now, these are some people, like, take a look on the left, musicians who turned down a knighthood or honor. You have the likes of David Bowie, John Lennon. I think he returned his. Paul Weller, French and Saunders. Yeah, I remember the French lady. Is it Dawn French? Turned down the OBE. And Ken Loach turned it down. Jon Snow, George Harrison. And who else is that? Danny Boyle, Dr. Stephen Hawkins, Alan Bennett, who for some reason I thought was Robert Redford, but I guess it's not. Alan Lichtman, Benjamin Zephania, and Jim Broadbent. I mean, there's a bunch of people that, for whatever reason, Lewis Hamilton. Now, Lewis Hamilton, who is a lesson in contradictions, you know, he's a very proud Black man. He's also very much has an activist spirit, right? He speaks out. He shows his support. I guess some people would even say virtue signal, whatever. I don't think virtue signaling is necessarily a bad thing. And yet he gladly accepted the award. But it's complicated. I think there's a lot of people who would otherwise turn down these honors. But when your mama say, oh, we're going to Windsor Castle, I got to find something to wear. Lord have mercy, I got to get my hair done. What are you going to do? Are you going to disappoint your mom? John Oliver had a similar situation. When they heard John Oliver was becoming a U.S. citizen, Buckingham Palace very quickly tried to dispatch a letter to him, which they did, asking him if he wanted the honor. And he said no. And they're like, well, we're not going to accept that just yet. Think about it and we'll contact you again. And he said, I don't have to think about it. I don't want it. They said, well, either way, we're going to just give you some time. Now, what they were giving him some time for was so that when he mentioned it to his wife, she got all excited and the idea of going to the Buckingham Palace, or no, I think it's Windsor Castle, for this honor. And anyway, he told her, he said, you don't understand that this honor is mired in a bunch of, white supremacy and colonization, so on and so forth. And she's like, yeah, but I would kind of like to see the, but anyhow, they agreed that he was not going to receive it. And so he turned them down a second time. Then they said, well, have it your way. We'd appreciate if you were not to mention this to anyone. And of course, his response was, are you kidding me? I'm going to tell everybody, which he did. He went on his show and, mentioned that he turned down the award. So there's a lot of people out there that don't exactly welcome this into their lives, even though it is a great honor to be recognized by your nation of birth. Um, hmm, Let me see. I got some other information here. In addition to John Oliver, let me see here. Well, the actor Michael Sheen, who played Tony Blair in The Queen, um, wasn't alone in deciding to return a major honor. He bagged the OBE in 2009 for his acting chops, but gave it back in 2017, diving deep into England Wales history, changed his mind. By the time he had finished writing that lecture, I remember sitting there going, well, I have a choice. I either don't give this lecture or I hold on to my OBE, or I give this lecture and I have to give my OBE back. He bared his soul to Owen Jones in The Guardian in 2020. So that is what Michael Sheen said before he returned it. So that was that one. And of course, Don French and Jennifer Saunders turned down their honors. David Bowie famously turned it down. What is this guy's name? Oh, the guy that wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think he turned his down too. Yeah. Renowned children's author, famous for enchanting tales such as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, declined knighthood offered in 1986. Nigella Lawson, rejected. Stephen Hawkins, rejected. Paul Weller, no thank you. And of course, I mentioned the Beatles. John Cleese, he deemed it silly. Let's see. Ken Loach, I mentioned that. Jon Snow, Danny Boyle, Bernie Eggleson. He didn't think he deserved one. L.S. Laurie, renowned painter, is said to have rejected more honors than anyone else, including a knighthood, a CBE, and an OBE. His friend Harold Riley disclosed that Laurie was a private man who didn't want to attend or change his name, which played a part in his decision to turn down the honors. Rudyard, one more time. Rudyard Okay, let me do this one more time. Rudyard Kipling, the writer and poet, declined in 18, let me see, declined the knighthood in 1899 and again in 1903. Oh, they didn't have those kind of honors then. Oh, okay. And who is this? Honor Blackman? That's her name, Honor Blackman. Oh, she's the James Bond actress. She turned down the CBE in 2002. Okay, and Benjamin Zephaniah, Jim Broadbent, Albert Finney, Andrew Davies, Alan Rickman, John Lydon. Yeah, so that's just a few people that you may recognize that turned down that honor. They were like, "Get thee behind me, Satan. I don't want it. You can keep it." Mm, well, I guess it's not all it's cracked up to be. Go figure. Oh yeah, the Jungle Book. That's right. Yeah, David Beckham. David Beckham would have snatched the queen off the stage trying to grab that thing. Instead of letting the queen pin it on, he would have tried to grab it and just like dragged her through the ballroom or wherever it is. Oh, really? It's not a great honor. Our biggest NHS trustee refused to accept hers, and she is very open about her feelings about taking one and what is expected the moment you take one. Well, Abby Rosemary, I did not give it much thought until one day, Petal of Facts and Two Cents, Petal of Facts and Two Cents said it very well. One day she said, that once you accept these trinkets, you are expected to defend that institution. You are expected to defend that family. And that is why you have so many Black people that are so doubtful about the idea that there may be racism in that institution. They deny that it's a possibility. Well, they never been racist to me. That is just the dumbest thing anyone could say. But yeah, they would expect you to defend that institution no matter what. They would expect you to defend the indefensible. So I agree. It is it has been cheapened when you consider some of the people who don't deserve it that have received one. Okay, so Donald Trump's 4th of July bash might include Prince William and Kate Middleton, sources say. Per source. Yes, could you imagine that? Donald Trump is, it sounds like, you know, a legitimate invitation, but I don't think they're going to go. I don't think they would go. According to a source, Trump wants the Prince and Princess of Wales to headline the event, fireworks, flags, and the world's most glamorous couple waving from the White House balcony. Donald Trump is planning to invite Prince William and Kate Middleton to his 4th of July bash. The prosperous day marks the United States freedom in 1776 from Britain. However, the current president reportedly wants to add a royal touch to the celebration. According to a source, Trump wants the Prince and Princess of Wales to headline the event. Like I said, I believe the invitation is real, but I don't think they're going to accept it. The decision has left optics surprise as Trump is celebrating the most anti royal day with two royal family members. One historian said the founding fathers would be rolling in their graves. However, Trump sees it as the ultimate power move. Why toast George Washington when you can pose with the future king and queen of England? The historian continued. Additionally, insiders note that this decision is allegedly being taken to gain the maximum spotlight. I just don't think they would accept. Trump's not much of a student of history, and there's so many things about the history of this country and others that he probably is not so in tune with. And so I do believe he would extend the invitation, but for some, obvious reasons, I do not suspect that Will and Kate would even dream of accepting such a thing. It would look extremely awkward. Yeah, it would look very awkward. So, no bueno. Let's see. Princess Kate greeted President Trump without a traditional bow, but royal etiquette experts aren't surprised. Hmm. Oh, she did not. That's interesting. Hmm. Well, that's a Deranger account. I hid the name of the account, as you can see, is blank up there. Saw this on Facebook. Please tell me this is a joke. I don't think it was. I think it was a real thing, but who knows? And of course, take a look on the right. You can see Will and Kate looking rather exhausted because they have worked more in the past month than they have in about 2 years. But there you have it. There's Kate smiling with Donald Trump. You cannot unring this bell. It happened, and there are going to be people that are going to give her the side eye for that reason for quite some time to come. Hey, Hazel Jones. Now we have a moderator. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. And Trump, God, look at Trump. Look, 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 look. Look at Donald Trump. Look at the paint on the back of his hand and that face. Oh my God, he looks unwell. It's scary. Kind of scary. Speaking of kind of scary, uh, the Daily Mail ran this photo, right? That photo of Kate on the left side, the Daily Mail. I think the Daily Mail has it in for Will and Kate. I really do. They seem to repeatedly show them in a pretty bad light. And you know what? I'm here for it. Keep it coming, Daily Mail. Keep it coming. Princess Kate displays subtle compassion with carefully curated new look. Well, for like maybe the third time in about a week or two, she has worn a pussy bow, which, of course, the big blousey bow that you have seen when she went to that other school. Well, was that a school? No, it was the Scouts when she went with Melania and some other occasion. Wearing that big bow is becoming like a signature look for her. And of course, the other signature look is that very odd way she keeps tilting her head to one side. Her head is listing to one side, like kind of like the Andrea Doria before it sank, kind of like the Tania, Lusitania before it sank. You know how when the boat is taking on water, it starts listing to one side. Well, that is something that Kate tends to do. Not that I'm implying that there's too much fluid between the ears. I'm just saying it's a rather curious tick. Um, you expect a royal princess to kind of stand on ceremony, to be graceful and elegant, and the posture is always just right. But Kate Middleton, not so much. Commoner Kate just doesn't seem to have what it takes to display the traditional image of a royal princess. So that's why they call her Commoner Kate. Anyway, um, oh, you think so? I didn't think about that. I thought she was doing it to try to look smart. Okay. And of course, her signature hairdo, that was also on full display. Rapunzel, eat your heart out. Now, either there's a lot of static electricity or she's wearing 3 or 4 wigs all at the same time, one sewn on top of the other. But I guess that's an attempt to try to make her look bigger too. Yeah, probably. How does she do it? Kate Middleton leaves everyone stunned as she ties her hair up without a tie. Well, let's not forget one of the more impressive things that Kate has done in the past month is she actually tied her own hair up. She put her hair up while she was play acting or doing a pantomime at some factory or whatever, silk screen, something. Anyway, she was doing some busy work and she decided to put her hair up. And of course, seeing that they have lowered the bar in such a dramatic way for Kate Middleton, everyone was so fascinated at the idea that she was able to do that all by herself. Yes, she was able to do that all by herself. Nice going, Commoner Kate. Surprise! An unexpected or astonishing event, fact or thing. That's what a surprise is. Surprise is an emotion caused by an unexpected event or action, or the event itself that causes such a feeling. It can be a feeling of astonishment, wonder, or shock, and it can be pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. As a verb, it means to come upon someone or something suddenly and without warning, or to cause someone to feel astonishment. That's what a surprise is. But hello, Ivy here. Hey, Ivy, thank you so much for joining us. But in this instance, the surprise is not really a surprise at all. They just say it's a surprise, but it's not. And I can prove it. You see this? Kate Middleton wears Princess Diana's approved style, thick, that is, trick for a surprise appearance with Prince William. Diana's approved style trick. What is a Diana approved style trick? The Prince and Princess of Wales made a poignant trip to Southport on September 23rd. But remember, it's a surprise. It's a surprise. It's such a surprise. Why does all those kids have flags? Is that the surprise? How could that be a surprise if you have a camera crew and Lord knows you have a videographer, right? You have the whole shebang. But this is supposed to be a surprise. That's why they have handed out all those flags to those kids, because they did not know that Will and Kate were coming. There were no hints or clues whatsoever that Will and Kate was coming. These kids, They sit out there on the ground like that every day, waving flags, just in case one of the royals should happen by their school. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Yes, that is what they mean by a surprise visit. The surprise usually is not a surprise. Remember when William went to that soup kitchen and they said nobody knew he was coming, but yet they quoted the guy that run the place as saying he wore this T-shirt just for William? Or how about the fact that there was a video camera, a couple of steel cameras? I mean, there was a whole crew of people that showed up. And then, of course, Rebecca English said that those people, she texted them and they were able to quickly run over so that they could record the event. She's always trying to give them cover. None of this stuff is a surprise, especially for Kate. You got to start talking to her about it at least 2 weeks in advance. Yeah. You have to talk to her at least 2 weeks in advance. Otherwise, good luck getting her to show up. So, yeah, not much of a surprise. This, for some reason, reminds me of North Korea. I don't know why. And of course, yes, yes, it's such a surprise. Kate can't stop laughing. She cannot stop laughing. That big gaping grin of hers is the best indication that this was a total surprise. And none was the wiser that this was going to happen. They just happened to have about, I don't know, 50 or 60 of those flags with them at the school, and they just happened to hand them out just as Will and Kate happened to show up. Stuff like that happens all the time. All the time. Let's see. I want to see something here. Oh yes, they did make a video. To everyone in Southport community affected by the incident last year, they did make a video. They did. They always make a video. Anytime they go somewhere, it goes straight to social media. Yep. Well, that confirms my suspicion. They did make a video. They just happened to have a videographer there. Oh yeah, I bet you Rebecca English was there too. Was she? Let me see. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. What? You guys, I promise you, you can barely understand. I'm not making this up. You can barely understand what Kate is saying. You can barely understand it. I don't know why she doesn't speak up. You can, well, you can. It is such a primitive dialect. Oh, that would, that would work my nerves. You know that, don't you? That would work my nerves. Oh boy. Anyway, as you can see, there's one child in particular that's not sure what to make of Kate. And the girl next to her, you can see she's kind of looking over to see what everyone else is. Yeah, they're not sure what to make of it. It's like, should we be laughing? Was there a joke? Was something funny? Ah, I don't get it. Poor kids. Poor kids. They don't want to be bothered. They really don't. Yes, exactly. Yep. Get them while they're young. Get them while they're young. That's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of it. And of course, this is the situation right here. I just looked at that video and Kate was trying to say something. I could not understand a word she said. It was so annoyingly quiet. Well, you could just hear every other syllable. Well, okay, girl, if you say so. I did not hear you, but okay. And of course, the beads. I don't know what the beads are for, but as you know, Harry and Meghan often are gifted beads. So, in order to keep up with the Sussexes, they are going to put those on full display. Now, Misan Harriman is back to X. He hasn't been on X for a long time. And I keep forgetting that he's back on X. He had gave up X for the sake of his mental health, which is understandable, but he's back. Thank you for visiting my exhibition, Prince Harry. It was wonderful to show you my work and discuss the incredible space Aki has created for artists in the gallery. Art is important, especially now. Yes, it is. Now, let's see those beautiful images. Oh, actually, you cannot see them. I forgot about that. You can only see the Duke of Sussex and, of course, um, who I just said, Misan Harriman. Yes. So, anyway, very cool. He's got his stuff at the gallery, which is great. But like I said, Misan has some real competition in Ukraine. That one guy that took those black and white photos, they were stunning. Those are some of the most stunning photos. So, uh, I'm always gonna be a fan of Misan Harriman, but I got to say that other guy was great. And of course, uh, David Weissman, he was in Ukraine as well. Dave looked like he's put a little weight on, don't he? It doesn't look bad on him, but I'm just used to seeing him much smaller. Apparently, they have been feeding him well over there. Yeah, they have been feeding him very well, but it looks good on him. But yeah, he looks a bit beefier than I remember or recall, rather. Kate has a habit of laughing along. uh, So, as you can see, we recently visited Ukraine and saw resilience in action. Veterans and communities are rebuilding lives and finding purpose through recovery and sport. Prince William versus the press when the monster you fed turns on you. Well, if you recall, Liz Jones and Amanda Platel, they seem to go after Will and Kate full barrel. So this article was in the Medium. And it says, oh, wait, what did I do with it? Oh, Lord. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I think I deleted it. Hmm. Oh, Lord. Well, that's in style. I don't need that. Oh, there we go. Found it. No, thank you. Yeah, so it says when Prince Harry and the Duchess Meghan sat down with Oprah Winfrey in 2021, much of the world focused on the bombshell about racism, neglect, and relentless press harassment. But one detail quietly cut through. Harry's thankful and happy to escape the gilded cage, but worried his father and brother remain trapped within the monarchy's invisible contract with the press. So essentially, I'm not going to go through this whole thing. It basically points out that William has been leaking and briefing about his brother and his sister in law. And now those papers, the news agencies that he's been leaking to, seem to have turned on him. For years, William had a simple arrangement. The press protected him while tearing down his younger brother. He leaked, they rewarded. He stonewalled, they shielded. But now the devil is coming to collect, and William seems to have run out of leaks. What? The press, once his most reliable weapon against Harry and Meghan, now sounds frustrated. It's as if William looked across the Atlantic and thought, my brother stood up to the same press and survived. Why am I still bending the knee? What we're witnessing looks less like modernization of the monarchy and more like the prince deciding he'd rather do less while enjoying more. Fewer engagements, fewer obligations, more sun drenched breaks in mystique, probably thinking if the European royals can scale down, why not him? But here's the problem. Unlike Harry, William can't walk away. His whole future depends on the very press he now appears to be antagonizing. Harry's power lies in transparency. His business deals, philanthropy, and work ethic are visible, scrutinized, and above board. William, on the other hand, thrives in the shadows that makes him vulnerable. And the same press that turned Harry into a tabloid punching bag for years can turn on William with a vengeance. And that's the storm brewing now. Is William defying the press? Does he believe doing so is sustainable? Is he simply too lazy to play their game? Or has he grown so accustomed to protection that he is now believe he's untouchable? It's a good question. Anyway, I say they should go after him. They should. I think the press has a right to know what Wills and Kate is actually up to. And I say with my full chest, there is no excuse why William and Kate are doing less work than Charles. There is no reason whatsoever. I don't care if they're raised in a family. I don't care that someone has been through illness. There's so many people out there who have raised a family and so many people who have been through illness, and those people cannot escape to the island of Mystique. They cannot go skiing 3 or 4 times in the same season. There's a lot of things that they can't do. They do not have household staff, a fleet of automobiles, private jets, and helicopters. They have to shop for themselves. And they still have to go to a real job. This whole thing is a bunch of nonsense. It'd be different if the backdrop was a hardworking Will and Kate that we recognize as having changed suddenly. But they have not changed. It is business as usual. We work when we want to work. And if we choose not to, we won't. And if somebody pushes, we will start throwing excuses around. Well, we're raising the future king. Well, family comes first. Who would argue with that? And the reason they get away with it is because those tabloids give them protection. Now, one of those podcasts lost a lot of subscribers because they finally told the truth. They finally examined Will and Kate. They risked a lot to do it. Not so much, but a lot. They did lose viewers as a response to their questions. But they'll come back. It doesn't really matter. They'll come back. Critics warn Prince William's life at Forest Lodge may signal a part-time king era. That is what alarms the press, is that William is retreating into Forest Lodge, and he is going to be a part-time king. He is actually testing the waters to see how much he can get away with. And if he can get away with being less visible, then that's just what he's going to do. That is exactly what he's going to do. His heart is not in it, and everyone knows it. Kate never wanted that part of the role in the first place. They want to show up for the things that bring them the type of attention that they desire, which is why it was so easy for William to skip the BAFTAs, because they're not welcome there. There's been at least 2 occasions when they walked into the BAFTA Awards and there was no applause. The people sat there, or actually they did stand up at least, but when they stood there, there was no applause. They kind of stood there looking like those terracotta warriors that you see in China. Hundreds of them. That's why Will and Kate skipped the BAFTAs. Even though William is the president of the BAFTAs, he decided, you know what? Why go through that humiliation? I'm going to the beach. I'll see y'all. Now, I do have some sound for you. I love her.
Taking things over, like, let's go.
Okay, that's not it, obviously.
It shows. And our Duchess of Sussex got a good man in Prince Harry. And I absolutely love that. I love that he lets her shine bright, her light, and everything that she's building with Love Meghan. And as ever, he don't interfere with it at all. Matter of fact, he actually pushes her to do her best which I absolutely love. And I love that he can shine as well as an author, as being Prince Harry, who he is, and a part of the royal family. But he comes together with her and lets their light shine brighter. I absolutely love it. I know all of the derangers hate it because somehow in their head, they're still going to be with Prince Harry. And we all know that ain't never going to happen. But it is what it is. They can think what they want to think. I love how they are building something so big together that nobody can handle it, especially the royal family and all of the British press. Can't handle it at all. They are doing their thing and they're continuing to grow and continuing to move in silence how they do. But when they do come out and speak, it is in a element that is so eloquent and cuts you so deep that nobody even understands how to respond. So I love that the both of them are coming out more, doing more interviews separately. And then when they need to come together to do an interview, they will. But otherwise, they both have their own brands separately, although we know that they are together and move forward as they should as one. But the world sees them as moving separately because that's what their businesses hold up to do. But I love everything that they are building as a couple and also as business owners separately. I think it is so amazing. I know that they run Archwell Productions together and we see what they do together, but in terms of promoting that, we don't see them promoting intertwined with Archwell Productions, but we know that they're doing it. I think that that is so brilliant. It is great for both of their brands and then the brand that they're building together. Like, I think it's amazing and can't nobody do nothing about it. When you got a good man, it shows. And our Duchess of Sussex's got a good man in Prince Harry, and I absolutely love that.
So, Deal Curator, that is her handle on TikTok. And also you can see she has a link tree. But yeah, she's fantastic. I love her energy. So I did not follow her yet, but I'm glad I just noticed that. I'm like, wait, I forgot to follow her. But I'm going to have to follow her because, yeah, she's got good energy. Yep. But yeah, there you go. Okay. I'm doing that right now before I forget. All right. Yep, I'm doing it right now before I forget. Followed. Okay. All right. So that was very energetic and very, very appropriate. Sarah Vine, striking similarities between Sarah Ferguson and Meghan, and why Fergie's downfall should be a red flag for the Sussexes. Now, you see there, first she mentions Meghan, and then is the Sussexes. Striking similarities. There are none. There are none. They are very, very minuscule, if any. But it is an opportunity to try to cover the Sussexes in a cloud of negativity. And there were some people who did not appreciate it, myself included. I thought it was a stretch, grasping at straws, if you will. Like the one person says here in the comments, can't compare the two. Princess Meghan is building a $1 billion mega brand. Fergie's broke. Someone else says, please leave Meghan alone. At least she is working. She has a better work ethic than the royals. Also, it says here, the situation that the Duchess of York now faces ought to be a red flag for the Sussexes. They are far too many parallels for comfort. It would be a tragedy if the Sussexes were to find themselves, like the Yorks, caught up in a Hogarthian process where the cast of characters grow ever more questionable as their need for money and patronages increase. It's a cautionary tale. Let's hope they take heed. Well, again, that is Sarah Vine's words. I don't agree with Sarah Vine. Sarah Vine is the one, well, I think that CBS used her as an example of racism in the tabloid media. Yeah, she was one of the people that was singled out as an example of racist rhetoric. Leg says British media really don't want to cover the Trump visit. Thank you, Legs. They are avoiding it like the plague. They are avoiding it. They don't want to talk about it. So that is a Sarah Vine. You see, they're taken yesterday for the lovely trolls who say I'm using someone else's picture. Weirdos. Now see, I didn't believe that because if you're going to use someone else's picture, it would definitely be an improvement. However, she tried her best to look as glamorous as possible. But both of those are the real Sarah Vine. Both of those. Sarah Vine is not the daintiest little flower and the least likely woman in all of the United Kingdom to marry into the royal family. The least likely. And I mean to tell you, if there were only one man and one woman left on the Isles of Britain, the British Isles, if there was one man and one woman, I do believe that the future of Great Britain would end right then and there. That the opportunity to procreate, you would probably hear that last man say, pass. Nope. Pass. Pass. No, thank you. It ends here. Sorry. Pass. I mean, let's face it. She is a very handsome woman, but therein lies the problem. She's a very handsome woman. And what of those poses? Why do you think she always poses like that? Why do you think so? What is she hiding? Why does every pose, if not most of her poses, they all seem to have a certain theme? Yes, wasn't that a book by Nora Ephraim? Wasn't that a book by the author Nora Ephraim? Nora Ephraim book. She once wrote a book. Let me see. What was the name of it? It was on that topic. I do believe she apologized, right? She apologized to all humanity. Let me see. Heartburn. I remember at the movies. I remember nothing. And what is that? Something reflection. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. The name of the book was Nora Ephraim, I Feel Bad About My Neck. That was actually a book. I Feel Bad About My Neck. So I guess you can say the ancestors have dealt with this one. The ancestors has dealt with this one. And there's a theme. You all know that there's a theme with these women, these gatekeepers, these professional trolls that write for these tabloids. They call themselves feminists, even though they are constantly tearing other women down. And if you are a woman of color, then they really are going to come after you. And if you are of African descent, then they're not going to have a kind word to say for you ever. Imagine that there are individuals that are paid professionals, and one of the things that they do to make money is to slander, to tear down you, the individual, because you have some notoriety. Even if you were the winner of the lottery or you just happened to witness a crime, you are subject to their horrible, horrible, foul writing. It could happen to any of us, but especially for Meghan, educated, proud, reliable, and a girl's girl, Meghan the feminist. They can't stand it. And so they cover up their necks and they storm out of their homes and they find other like-minded women with body dysphoria, self-esteem issues, gay husbands, all of that. They find other women that likewise have some self-esteem issues, and they go after them. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it was very appropriate that the people of Head and Shoulders reached out to her. Now, that is one of the best advertising campaigns that you could possibly have. I mean, after all, it's one thing to name your product Head and Shoulders, but it's even better if you can find someone who can epitomize the very attributes that gives that name meaning. Head and Shoulders. There are many ways in which hair loss can shape your life. In my case, it changed me from a confident, what is that, whatever, teenager, into an introspective, anxious adult. In other words, the thinning hair that she suffered changed her personality. I mean, it was bad enough that people were calling her Head and Shoulders, even though she did not own that product or has nothing to do with its development. It's bad enough they were calling her Head and Shoulders, but it really turned for the worse when she suffered hair loss. No wonder she's so evil. No wonder she's so cruel. Enters Meghan with that lush mane of hair, and poor, lacking in confidence, introspective, and anxious Sarah Vine. Ebullient. Oh, is that how you say it? Ebullient. What does that mean? Cheerful and full of energy. Okay, that's what that word means. Ebullient. Wow, she really went to the thesaurus for that one, didn't she? Um, and then, of course, I'm not the only person who has been moved to question things about her. Like right here, Miffy Buckley says Sarah Vine looks like a faded Ponton's character magician who's now banned from loitering around parks and Fridays. Oh, Lord have mercy. That poor man, woman, that poor woman, poor woman. I could see why she's so cruel and so mean. Yeah, I could see it now. I mean, the fact that on the hottest days of the year, she has to cover up her neck before she leaves the house, lest she be confused for someone who's no longer allowed to hang around parks and primary school. uh, and you know what? I decided to upgrade. Instead of limiting her to just Head and Shoulders shampoo, I thought she should have the Head and Shoulders men's Old Spice. Yeah, the one where they mixed it with some Old Spice. She looks like the kind of woman who could wear some Old Spice. Yeah, Old Spice really suits her. I mean, she's such a handsome woman and all. And then, of course, Harvey Firestein. For some reason, she always reminds me of Harvey Firestein. And take a look at some of the things that she's written. Like, yes, they're joyfully loved. So why do I get this? Oh, I can't even stand to say that word. Worry about, you know, the one that sounds like the N word. Out of all the words she could have used, she had to say that word. That is a dog whistle, and dare I say, a bit racist. And CBS called them out about it with the what do you call it? The promotion for the Oprah interview. Harry's an admirable chap, but to claim the publicity hungry Meghan is a hapless victim is crazy. Oh, Sarah Vine. Meghan and Harry wedding, 10 key questions about how it became such a PR disaster. All of these are Sarah Vine. My memo to Meghan. Following her Vogue editorial, we Brits prefer true royalty to fashion royalty. Now, someone like Sarah Vine would say, well, it's my job. It's my job. But her job conjures up a lot of negativity, a lot of apathy. And in today's world, it is a known fact that cultivating hostility can actually get someone hurt in this world. It really can. But she doesn't care. She doesn't care because she's lonely. She ain't got no neck. And she's having all kind of self-identity issues and such. She's just a very cruel, mean, evil, awful person. So I just did the math. Sarah Vine plus Harvey Firestein equals What is it? Hera, um, Hera, Vanestein. Yeah, Yes, if you add them up, that's what you get. You really can't tell one from the other. If Sarah Vine and Harvey Firestein were to have a love child, it's too gruesome to even think about. It is too gruesome to even think about. Oh my God. Now, ooh, are her sleeves too short or are her arms too long? Good Lord. What is that? What is that? What the hell is that? That's Sarah Vine. Now we know why she's so angry, why she's so cruel, why she's so mean, because she's just not like other ladies. Her dimensions are puzzling. Yeah, there's something about her that puzzles me. How wearing a corset undid years of hating my body. No, it didn't. And helped get my confidence back after divorce. No, it didn't. Girl, stop lying. Sarah Vine admits that as a teenager and young adult, she felt pressured to starve herself to achieve the desired slim frame that looked good in anything. The UK based writer, oh, she was 55 when she wrote this, has decided to give wearing a corset a go and loves it. Well, I tell you what, I bet you that corset don't love her. She says that the more she wears it, the more she feels confident in herself. Really? Now, if she could just never mind. A very handsome woman. But I have a solution. If she is still suffering from her insecurities, she could always use the paper bag method. She could always turn to that paper bag method. Who knows? It might even improve her love life. Let me see. Not My King made this. Clearly, um, Charles has found a new button on the was that Not My King has found a new button on their phone? I'm not sure I get that one. But anyway, there's William right there in the mix of it. Yes, there's William. William has taken over for M. No, I don't think he could take over for M. Um, see, there's M right there. He's nothing like M. Trust me. Uh, but I love that. Anyway, you guys, guess what? I'm done. I am done. So I am going to leave it there. Thank you all very much. Remember, if you have not subscribed, please make sure you do subscribe to Royal Sussex. Where are we at with that subscriber count? Where are we with the subscriber count? Okay, yes, we still need 9 subscribers, and then it'll be 63,000. 63,000 subscribers. We have to get to 100,000 by the new year. We just have to. One of the best gifts that I could expect for Christmas is that silver play button. I would love to have that silver play button, on behalf of everyone at Royal Sussex, but I'll just hang on to it for everybody. Let's see. Shelly L says, wow, she is really upset that Harry didn't pick her. Poor old no neck gal. I know. I know. And then where is that at? When she was walking through Buckingham. Oh, by the way, thank you for the super chat. When she was walking through Buckingham Palace, all I could think of was Esther Rose. Damn, damn, damn. That was all I could think about was Florida Evans. I wonder if that's what it's one thing when you take these glamorous photos, but that's the real Sarah Vine right there. That is the real Sarah Vine, the no neck wonder. I mean, look at that. Every photo, she's like, I got to cover up my neck. I got to cover up my neck. And see the one in the upper right, taken yesterday for all the lovely trolls who say I'm using someone else's picture. Now, see, I would have let people think I was using somebody else's picture. I mean, is this really what you want to owe up to? You want to admit that? You satisfied? That's what you want? I think you were doing better when people were confused. Yep. I think you were winning when people were confused. Now the truth has been exposed. Yep. No neck vine. But yeah, I tell you guys, those women that wrote for these tabloids all these years, they are just gatekeepers. That's all they are, gatekeepers. Wow. I'm looking at her social media right now. Huh. Okay. Oh, where is that thing at? Someone sent that to me today. Let me see. I'll put the link up there. Hold on, I got the link. It is the Signal Award, the 4th annual Signal Listener's Choice Award. Vote for the world's best podcast. Okay, let me get that link for you guys. I'll put it up there at the top of the chat. And then you can vote for the world's best podcast. Thank you for the reminder. Totally forgot about that. Okay, yes, if you click on that link, it can take you to where you can vote for the Duchess of Sussex. Again, it is called the Signal Award, the 4th annual Signal Award. Voting is open until Thursday, October 9th. Got it? Voting is open until October 9th. Yes, the link is at the top of the chat. You can go ahead and click that link now because I'm fixing to go. So again, do not delay. Go over there and vote for the Duchess of Sussex. Okay, love you guys. I will see you all next time.